Hi and welcome back to my Smackdown review for... Oh, my laptop's about to die. June the 15th, 2012. Hold up a minute. Okay, sorry about that. WWE Smackdown live from Manchester, New Hampshire. It wasn't, it wasn't live on TV, but that's where it was at. So if you're in New Hampshire, you may have seen it, or you may have went there to the show. The show opened with the video of what happened on Monday Night Raw. If you don't know, check out my Monday Night Raw review. It has everything on there. I know it's kind of long, but it was 3 hours. So hopefully when Raw does become permanently 3 hours at July 23rd, I can shorten it, because I didn't get as many views. I guess people got lazy and they didn't want to watch the whole thing, but I had everything in there. But if you missed Raw, check that out. I did my Superstars review yesterday, and for my TNA fans, I did a TNA Impact review yesterday. And if you missed last week's SmackDown, check out my review for SmackDown last week. I know my Superstars and TNA review were late yesterday, but that's why I'm doing my SmackDown review early today to make up for it. The show SmackDown opened with the video of Vince McMahon being punched, knocked out by the Big Show, which is kind of ironic because they said he has concussion-like symptoms, and also Alberto Del Rio also has a concussion, so I found that kind of ironic that they both were having concussion. Kind of weird. But then after that, the video, AJ officially starts the show. AJ comes out. It's kind of weird, but I liked it. And then Vicky Guerrero comes out and interrupts her while she's talking. And then Dolph Ziggler comes out. They both make their way to the ring. I like the AJ, but in the ring, but she needs better mic skills. She needs to work on it a little bit. She was trying too hard. It just needs to come natural to you. She was trying a little too hard. So, she has the good look and everything. She just needs to work on her mic skills. And then CM Punk comes out. Like, CM Punk on SmackDown? When was the last time CM Punk was on SmackDown? Okay, and then Sheamus comes out. Like, whoa. Like, all these people coming out, this SmackDown is gonna be really good. And then Daniel Bryan comes out. The most crazy, so we have, and they're all talking. And basically, they don't talk about nothing. They just promoting No Way Out, like it did throughout the whole show. Basically, this sets us up for Punk and Sheamus versus Bryan and Ziggler. Punk will be facing Bryan at No Way Out this Sunday, and Sheamus will be facing Dolph Ziggler. He's supposed to be facing Rio, but he has a concussion, like I said. So this is a tag team match. It's a good match. It was like it should have been a main event match. It was 26 minutes long. About 25 minutes, 26 minutes long. Should have been a main event. They opened the show, so I'm thinking, they open a show this big, with a big event like this, the whole show is going to be big, good. Not really. And then AJ is a sign of bad luck. Ziggler was able to pin Sheamus, and it has to do with AJ, because AJ pushes Vicky Guerrero when she was on the top ropes, and then while Sheamus had his back turned, Ziggler was able to come from behind and pin him. And then after that, AJ and Vicky was fighting. Wouldn't that be a good match? Vicky and AJ fighting? Did Eddie teach her any moves? I mean, who knows? But that'd be a good match. Eddie versus, Eddie, rest in peace. But Vicky versus AJ, that'd be a good match. AJ and Vicky were fighting after the match. And AJ was throwing some punches on her. Vicky tried to run out the ring. She tried to crawl up the ramp. AJ caught her foot and dragged her, and Vicky pushed her into the ring and probably towards her spine and messed up her spine. It wasn't messed up, but she hurt her back a little bit. And then after that, Vicky was able to escape, but AJ was still out because, like I said, her back, Vicky pushed her, and her back went into the apron, like her back, spine, kidney area. So she's down on the ground. Out of nowhere, Kane comes out, walks down the ramp, picks her up like he did Lita in 2003. So I'm thinking he's going to carry her backstage. Nope. CM Punk's runs up this ramp, hits Kane while he's carrying AJ. He's almost backstage. Who knows what they would have done. And then they're just fighting. Let's see what happened after that. And then they make their way back down to the ring. Now this was a setup for No Way Out. Kane was able to chokeslam CM Punk, and he was able to chokeslam Dan Bryan in the ring. They both are left on the ground. Kane walks backstage. Kane is still standing in the ring, and AJ is now at the top of the ring. He didn't walk backstage, my bad. Well, after he chokeslammed Dan Bryan and CM Punk, he was standing in the ring, and AJ was at the top of the stage where the WWE logo is and everything. And they just looking at each other. He just turns sideways and looks at her. They're just giving each other these looks. And you know what? I realized AJ and Kane had a Paul Bearer and Kane, or Paul Bearer and Undertaker relationship. You know, when Paul Bearer had the urn, and every time Paul Bearer would have the urn, the Undertaker would kneel down and do this like he does in WrestleMania, after he wins. The same thing happens with Kane. AJ is like the urn, and she makes Kane, I don't know, she kind of controls him. AJ is like the urn. If you've been watching wrestling since 2000 or 90s, you know what I'm talking about, but it's hard to explain. But it's like AJ and Kane had a Paul Bearer and Kane, or Paul Bearer Undertaker relationship, because she kind of controls him like Paul Bearer did with the urn. So, and throughout the whole show, they kept promoting No Way Out. You know what No Way Out, the initials are? NWO. Wouldn't it be nice if the NWO returned to No Way Out? Huge ratings. That would be awesome. Highly doubt it, but Kevin Nash was on Raw a couple months ago. Hogan is on TNA. Where is Scott Hall at? Who knows? But after that, we had Brodus Clay. He was mad about being on. Smells. Okay, thought something was burning. Okay, excuse me. I thought something was burning, but Brodus Clay was mad about not being on Raw, which is a good thing. I mean, I like Brodus Clay, but he is like Ryback. They don't have any serious competition. You're giving these little guys. So Brodus Clay ends up going against Heath Slater, and of course he wins. Why is Heath Slater still under contract? I mean, Jinder Mahal, Drew McIntyre, all these guys, they aren't doing anything. They're just taking up spots on superstars. Get rid of them. The match was only like 2 minutes long. They had like a lot of 2-minute matches. And Brodus Clay destroys Heath Slater. I don't know why he should be mad about not being on Raw. I mean, focus on being on SmackDown. It wasn't like he was that big of a superstar. He has a big entrance. I like his entrance, but as far as in-ring abilities, I have yet to see that. And the only time we was about to see if he could fight was when he almost went against the Big Show, but the Big Show took him out. And then Otunga comes and attacks out of nowhere. Otunga. Now Otunga, he attacks Brodus Clay. He attacks Brodus Clay. He attacks his knees. He's trying to take him out because the No Way Out pre-show this Sunday. The pre-show, Brodus Clay will face David Otunga. Now, Otunga, I kind of like him. People don't like him, but I like him. I just wish he had more of a role instead of being John Laurinaitis' sidekick. He should have more of a role on SmackDown. I've only seen him in a few matches, but he could be big. I mean, I'm not saying he can be World Heavyweight Champion, but he deserves a belt. He deserves a push. He needs to stop being Laurinaitis' sidekick and do something. And stop drinking coffee all the time. So Otunga takes out Brodus Clay knees. And you could tell it was staged because all my SmackDown fans, when Brodus Clay at the end of the match, he dances in the middle of the ring. He brings kids in. You know there's a camera to the I'm not sure. If you're coming down a ramp, it would be to your right. So camera and Naomi were facing the camera, but he was facing Booker T and them. Why was he facing Booker T and them? It was staged. Normally he's facing the camera, the camera that stays in that one position right there. He was facing Booker T and Michael Cole and them. So when Otunga came down the ramp, he couldn't see and attack. It was so staged. Normally he faces the camera, brings kids in the match. If he was facing the camera, he would have saw Otunga come in the ring and beat him up. You could tell it was staged. They should have thought about this better. The WWE writers should have thought about this better. He was facing Michael Cole and Booker T with his back turned, which is weird when the camera is this way. Why was he facing them? Otunga comes out and attacks him. It was clearly staged, but they could have did better than that. Now we have Layla ringside. We haven't seen a WWE Divas match in on SmackDown probably like in 2 weeks. Why did they weren't doing anything with the Divas? The Divas are on superstars. What's the use of having Divas if we aren't going to use them? The Divas need to have a huge match. Like, I know Divas are important to the company and whatnot. How come the Divas don't have no real matches? The Divas don't have any ladder matches, Extreme Rule matches, cage matches, Hell in a Cell matches. If they want to be wrestling, you want to be treated equal, why don't they get the same type of matches that the men wrestlers get? Who wouldn't like to see a diva in a Hell in a Cell match, or a ladder match, or steel cage match? That would be interesting. But Alicia Fox won't have it. I haven't seen Alicia Fox in like a month. When they get Beth Phoenix, I've seen Beth recently within 2 weeks. Alicia Fox, like, what are they doing? They just get paid for nothing, because I don't ever see them on any Raw or SmackDown. What's the use of having deals if we're not going to use them? And Beth Phoenix she wins within like 2 or 3 minutes. Another knockout match. But Alicia Fox started out strong, but Beth Phoenix was able to win. And then Laurinaitis just comes out, people power. And he calls up the Big Show. And basically the Big Show says that what he did on Monday Night Raw was an accident. And they promoted No Way Out. Basically, they promoted No Way Out. I'm not going to buy No Way Out because on Monday Night Raw they're going to show me the results. So I don't see no use in buying No Way Out. I'm going to do a No Way Out predictions video tomorrow. And on Sunday I will do my Raw predictions video. So you gotta check out my channel for that. The Big Show comes out, and after the Big Show explains that he's gonna beat, Cena, and that the punching Vince was a mistake, blah blah blah. Michael Cole somehow from an unidentified source gets information that John Cena was gonna be on SmackDown. This was another stage moment. They said John Cena was in his hometown, which made it kind of weird. John Cena is from Massachusetts. I know Massachusetts and New Hampshire are close together, but they made it seem like John Cena lives in Massachusetts when actually he's from Massachusetts, but he lives in Florida. So that was another stage moment. He lives in Florida. So he just happened to be in Massachusetts, and he heard that SmackDown was being in New Hampshire, and he decided to drive down. John Cena was on SmackDown way before SmackDown started. It was staged. He lives in Florida, not Massachusetts. He could have been there visiting his father and mother, yeah. But they made it seem like he was at home watching SmackDown. And then he heard the Big Show talk about him. And then he decided to drive to the arena. No, he lives in Florida. And I know that's probably like a 10 or 12 hour flight. So it was staged. 2 stage moments. Come on. With a big opening with Punk and Shane versus Bryan Ziggler. This is what happens at SmackDown. Then we have Christian versus Swagger. And Christian was able to defeat Swagger with the frog splash. Swagger, I didn't ever like Swagger. I maybe was a fan of his like 3 or 4 years ago, but he hasn't been winning any matches. He's useless. And Christian will face Cody Rhodes in No Way Out, and also Beth Phoenix will face Layla in No Way Out. Like I said, they're going to be using Christian a lot since he just returned. They're going to be using Layla a lot since she just returned, even though she wasn't on SmackDown last week. I was also mad that Sin Cara wasn't on this SmackDown. I don't even know if Sin Cara has a match in No Way Out. I know he's going to be on Raw, but he should have been on SmackDown. So they tried to... Sin Cara is one of the big faces on SmackDown since Randy Orton is suspended. If you didn't know that, check out my Randy Orton being suspended video on my channel. They try to bring John Cena over to SmackDown to kind of equal out Sin Cara not being there. Then there was Ryback versus 2 guys from New York, 2 guys from the audience or off the street. Their names were Ari and Mike. That match was only 2 to 3 minutes long. Rough. Oh yeah, Ryback defeated them. Ryback, even though he dominated them, he kind of messed up 2 instances. When he shot and grabbing the guy, he couldn't get a good grip on him. And when he does that thing where he puts both the guys on his shoulder and march around the ring, he kind of messed up on that. I know there's 2 little small mistakes, but he was still able to dominate them. So I'm not going to be picky about that. And then Tyson Kidd. Why is Tyson Kidd still in the contract? He's on Superstars. We have all these guys. What are they doing? Versus Damien Sandow. His first match, and that was 2 to 3 minutes long too. And he wins. Damien Sandow reminds me of Chris Masters. Like his entrance and everything reminds me of Chris Masters. And also, nobody answered my question from my last review. During Ryback's entrance, when he comes out, the stage is dark, and then he looks up, and the stage lights up, and it makes this pyro noise. I wonder, is that actual pyro that they're not showing on camera, or was that just the noise? So if you in New Hampshire, and you saw the show, does Ryback have pyro in his entrance, or was that just the sound of it? So Tyson Kidd versus Damien Sandow, and he wins again. I don't really like the guy. He hasn't had an effect on me yet. So I guess we have to wait and see what WWE does with him in the future. But I really don't like him at all. And John Cena, then after that they cut to a backstage segment. And John Cena's walking backstage. He breaks down the door to Laurinaitis' office. He wasn't in there. But guess what was in there? A No Way Out sign on the wall. The cameraman kept focusing on it. They want us to buy the pay-per-view because they think we're rabbits and we're just going to buy it. Like they're sheep. Like everything they make, we're going to buy it. I'm not buying it. This whole week on Raw, Superstars, they kept promoting No Way Out. I'm not watching it. I can get the results from Raw. There's no use of wasting $50 to watch it. Then Cena calls out the Big Show, but then Laurinaitis comes out and said that he sent the Big Show home, and that was basically it. And then Cena basically says, well, since Laurinaitis isn't here, then you're next in line to get knocked out. Laurinaitis tries to persuade him not to knock him out, but in the end, Cena still knocks him out, and I was happy about that. That made me happy. That kind of took the effect of Sin Cara not being in there, so that kind of replaced it. John Cena knocks him out, and he ends the show like that. So that was SmackDown review for June 15th, 2012. So, like I said, if you missed Raw, check out my Raw review. Check out my Superstars review. Check out my TNA review. And also tomorrow I'm doing a No Way Out predictions video and a Raw predictions video. So check it out. If you like this video, you can like it. If you dislike it, you can dislike it. Leave comments on your feelings about SmackDown for tonight or whenever you watch this. And check out my channel and make sure you subscribe.